Bài 29. Fun, 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 fun. Have fun. Have fun. She is full of fun. She is full of fun. Speaking English is a lot of fun. Speaking English is a French. Speaking English is a lot of fun. French. She is full of fun. Speaking English is a lot of fun. French. 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 Fresh. 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 Number 3. Diffused. Diffuse. 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 2, 3. Diffuse. 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 He diffused our proposal. I don't know why. He diffused my help. I don't know why. Differ. 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 Number 5. Afford. 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 I can't afford to fly. I can't afford to fly to Beijing. I can't afford to fly to Beijing. I can't afford to fly to Beijing. Afford. Afford. I can't afford a new car. Number 4. Differ. 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 Number 5. Afford. 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 I can't afford to fly to Beijing. I can't afford to fly to Beijing. Number 6. I can't afford to fly to Beijing. Stop, stop. Leave your stop in the hall. Leave your stuff in the hall. Leave your stuff in the hall. This book is really boring stuff. This book is really boring stuff. This book is really boring stuff. Pear. Do you call this stuff pear? There has been some really good stuff on TV lately. There have been some really good stuff. There have been some really good stuff on TV lately. There has been some really good stuff on TV lately. Leave my stuff alone. I told you not to touch it. I told you not to touch it. Leave my stuff alone. I told you not to touch it. Touch it, touch it. Leave me stuff alone. Leave me my stuff alone. I told you not to touch it. I told you not to touch it. Leave me stuff alone. I told you not to touch it. Phone. 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 Number 8. Photograph. 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 You look prettier in person than you do in your photograph. Photograph. You look prettier in person than you do in your photograph. You look prettier in person than you do in your photograph. Photograph. You look prettier in person than you do in your photograph. You look prettier in person than you do in your photograph. You look prettier in person than you do in your photograph. Number 9. Enough. 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 Number 10. Laugh. 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 You always make me 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 laugh. They always make me laugh. I had enough. I had enough. I had enough. I've 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 had enough. I had enough. I've had enough. I had enough. I've had enough. I've had enough. I've had enough. I've had enough. I had enough. I've 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 had enough. Number 1. Always sweet. Life is beautiful, but it's not 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 always sweet. Life is beautiful. Life is beautiful, but it's not always sweet. Life is beautiful, but it's not always sweet. Life is beautiful. Life is beautiful, but it's not always sweet. Life is beautiful, but it is not always sweet. Life is beautiful, but it is not always sweet. Always sweet. Life is beautiful, but it's not always sweet. Success comes. Success comes. Failures. 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 Success comes after failures. Failures. Success comes after many failures. Success comes first. After many failures. Success comes 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 after many failures. Fact is often stronger than fiction. 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 Fact is often fact is often stronger than fiction. 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 We need more. That's far from enough. 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 That's far from enough. We need more. More. That's far from enough. We need more. Enough. That's far. That's far from enough. We need more. That's far from enough. That's far from enough. We need more. 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 Number 5. But we refused. He offered us some food, but we refused. We refused. He offers us some food, but we refused. Refused. We offered us some food, but we refused. He offered us some food, but we refused. Refused. He offered us some food, but we 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 refused. Refused. He offered us some food, but we refused. Offered some food, but we refused. Number 6. I feel like talking a walk for some fresh air. Fresh air. I feel like taking a walk for some fresh air. I feel like taking a walk for some fresh air. Fresh air. I feel like taking a walk for some fresh air. Fresh air. I feel like teaching a walk for some fresh air. Fresh air. I feel like taking a walk for some fresh air. Fresh air. I feel like taking a walk for some fresh air. I feel like taking a walk for some fresh air. I feel like taking a walk for some fresh air. 2, 3. I feel like taking a walk for some fresh air. I feel like taking a walk for some fresh air. I feel like taking a walk for some fresh air. I feel like taking a walk for some fresh air. French fries. My favorite food is the French fries. My favorite food is the French fries. Food. French fries. My favorite food is the French fries. My favorite food is the French fries. Fries. My favorite food is the French 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 fries. My favorite food is 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 French fries. Number 8. After class, we often play football. After class for fun. We often play football for fun after class. 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 Before, touch, finish. I want to have free time before this job is finished. I want to have free time before this job is finished. I want to have free time before this job is finished. I want to have free time before this job is finished. I want to have free time before this job. I want to have free time before this job is finished. I want to have free time before this job is finished. I want to have free time before this job is finished. I want to have free time before this job is finished. I want to have free time before this job is finished. I want to have free time before this job is finished. Photograph his wife. Philip asked me to take a photograph of himself and his wife. Philip asked me to take a photograph of himself and his wife. Philip asked me to take a photograph of himself and his wife. Philip asked me to take a photograph of himself and his wife. Philip asked me to take a photograph of himself and his wife. Philip asked me to take a photograph of himself and his wife. Philip asked me to take a photograph of himself and his wife. Philip asked me to take a photograph of himself and his wife. Philip asked me to take a photograph of himself and his wife. We forgot to bring some food for you. 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 Acted. See. Fulfilled. 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 She fulfilled her dream of becoming an actress. She fulfilled her dream of becoming an actress. Actress. She fulfilled her dream of becoming an actress. Fulfilled. She fulfilled her dream of becoming an actress. That's fantastic. 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 Which would you prefer? That's coffee or tea. Which would you prefer? That's coffee or tea. Which would you prefer? That's coffee or tea. Which would you prefer? There's coffee or tea. Which would you prefer? Which would you prefer? There's coffee or tea. 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 Which would you prefer? I don't like living far away from my family. I don't like living far away from my family. I don't like living far away from my family. I don't like living far away from my family. I don't like living far away from my family. Face. Forget about the face. Finish. For your holiday. Finish the word off before you leave for your holiday. Finish the word off before you leave for your holiday. Finish the word off before you leave for your holiday. Finish the word off before you leave your holiday. For your holiday. Finish the word off before you leave your for holiday. Finish the work off before you leave for your holiday. Finish the work off before you leave for your holiday. Finish the work off before you leave for your holiday. Finish the work off before you leave for holiday. Finish the work off before you leave your holiday. Finish the work off before you leave for your holiday. Let's finish them all. There are only a few more goals left. Let's finish them all. There are always a few more goals left. Let's finish them all off. There are always a few more goals left. Let's finish them all off. Before you go, first thing first. First thing first. You must finish this before you go. First thing first. You must finish this before you go. First thing first. You must finish this before you go. First thing first. You must finish this before you go. First thing first. You must finish this before you go. First thing first. You must finish before you go. First thing first. You must finish this before you go. First thing first. You must finish this before you go. First thing first. You must finish this before you go. First thing first. You must finish this before you go. First thing first. You must finish this before you go. Number 5. From the drive, we enjoy fresh vegetables and fruit from the garden and fresh fish from the drive. Number 6. In the future, no one knows what happened in the future. No one knows what will happen in the future. No one knows what will happen in the future. No one knows what will happen in the future. No one knows what will happen in the future. No one knows what will happen in the future. No one knows what will happen in the future. No one knows what will happen in the future. No one knows. No one knows what will happen in the future. No one knows what will happen. No one knows what will happen in the future. No one knows. No one knows what will happen in the future. No one knows what will happen in the future. Touch day today. I had a 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 touch day today. I'm sorry for this. Number 2. Feel free to call me. Number 3. That's very funny. I felt it. I felt it. I felt it. I felt it. I am not afraid of anything. 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 Number 5. I am not afraid of anything. Number 6. We are friends for life. 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 Number 7. How are you feeling? How are you feeling? How are you feeling? How are you feeling? I feel fine. I feel fine. I feel fine. How are you feeling? I feel fine. I feel fine. Number 8. Laugh in the face of fear. 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 Follow me. Follow me. Follow me. I prefer coffee. Coffee. I prefer coffee. I prefer coffee. I prefer coffee. I prefer coffee. Coffee. I prefer coffee. I prefer coffee. Coffee. Prefer coffee. Coffee. I prefer coffee. I prefer coffee. Number 1. Funny. Funny. Future. Life. Fantastic. 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 It's a fantastic. 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 Number 5. Safe. Safe. Office. Office. Coffee. 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 Phrase. Phrase. Funny. 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 Everyone has funny people. Everyone has funny people. Everyone has funny people. Number 10. Tough. 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 I am a tough guy. I am a tough guy. I am a tough guy. Life is tough, but I like it. But I like it. Life is tough, but I like it. A tough life is an interesting life. A tough life is an interesting life. Is an interesting life. A tough life 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 is an interesting life. Number 1. I always prefer misunderstandings. I always prefer a face-to-face talk with my friends. It prevents a lot of misunderstandings. I always prefer face-to-face talk with my friends. It prevents a lot of misunderstandings. Number 2. She's phoning the doctor now. It's 5 after 11. Jim feels very bad. His face is on fire. He has a very high fever. His wife is very frightened. She is phoning the doctor now. It's 5 after 11. Jim feels very bad. His face is on fire. He has a very high fever. His wife is very frightened. She is phoning the doctor now. It's fire after 11. She feels very bad. His face is on fire. It's a very high fever. His wife is frightened. She's phoning the doctor now. I always prefer a face-to-face talk with my friends. I prevent a lot of misunderstandings. I always prefer a face-to-face talk with my friends. I prevent a lot of misunderstandings. It's 5 after 11. Dream. James feels very bad. His face is on fire. He has a very high fever. His wife is very frightened. She is phoning the doctor now. It's 5 after 11. She feels very bad. His face is on fire. He has a very high fever. His wife is very frightened. She is phoning the doctor now. I am finally finished with. I feel wonderful. I feel fantastic. I am finally finished with. I feel wonderful. I feel fantastic. I feel favorite. Best with to you on the fantastic pronunciation. Sunnis. You will not fail. You will make it. Good pronunciation is a foundation. It's good spoken English. It's worth your time, so effort, so derivation, so discipline, so your money, and okay, OS, so craziness. Oh, and OS, so craziness.